Welcome to English Easy Hub. Join us as we ignite the flames of your English learning journey together.
Please subscribe to watch and embark on your English learning journey. Don't miss out on the exciting content. In this dialogue, Alex approaches their teacher with a clear goal: to improve their English accent effectively. Through a series of insightful questions and in-depth responses, they explore various methods such as active listening, shadowing, stress timing, using language apps, and practicing with songs, poems, and tongue twisters. The conversation dives deep into both practical techniques and the psychological aspects of learning, offering a comprehensive roadmap for anyone striving to refine their English pronunciation and intonation.
Hi, teacher. I've been thinking about ways to improve my English accent. Could you share some effective methods?
Of course, Alex. Improving an accent requires a multifaceted approach, and one of the most effective methods is active listening. This means immersing yourself in the sounds of the language by paying close attention to native speakers. Focus on the way they stress words, their intonation patterns, and how they pause in sentences. You can achieve this by listening to podcasts, watching interviews, or tuning into audiobooks read by professional narrators. The key is not just listening passively, but actively engaging with the material. Pause to repeat sentences and note any differences in how you sound. Over time, you'll begin to internalize the rhythm and flow of the language.
Active listening sounds essential. Should I focus on a particular accent, like American or British English, or try to blend styles?
That's an excellent question, Alex. Choosing an accent depends largely on your personal or professional goals. If your goal is to work or study in the U.S., for example, an American accent would be the most practical choice. Similarly, if you're drawn to British culture or intend to work in a UK-centric environment, focusing on British English would make sense. Blending styles can lead to confusion, as accents influence not only pronunciation, but also word choice and sentence structure. Consistency in accent during the initial learning phase ensures a stronger foundation. Once you're comfortable, you can experiment with blending styles if necessary, but only after mastering the fundamentals of one.
Got it. Should I shadow native speakers? And how do I know if I'm mimicking them accurately?
Absolutely, shadowing is a powerful technique. When you shadow, you're essentially repeating what you hear almost simultaneously with the speaker. This allows you to replicate their pronunciation, intonation, and even pace. Start by selecting short audio clips, preferably no longer than 10 to 15 seconds. Play the clips several times, focusing on the speaker's delivery, and then repeat immediately after them. Record your attempts and compare them to the original. Pay attention to specific elements. Are your vowels elongated in the same way? Is your intonation rising and falling in sync with theirs? Over time, as you fine-tune your ear and speaking muscles, you'll notice significant improvements.
Recording myself feels awkward. Any advice to get over that discomfort?
That's perfectly normal, Alex. Many people feel uneasy hearing their own voice, as it sounds different from what they hear internally. To overcome this, start small. Record just one sentence a day and listen back. As you become more comfortable, increase the length of your recordings. Think of it as a diagnostic tool rather than a performance. It's a way to measure your progress, not a reflection of your worth. Also, remind yourself that professional speakers, actors, and broadcasters constantly listen to and critique their own voices. If they could do it, so can you.
That makes sense. Are tongue twisters a good tool for improving my accent?
Absolutely. Tongue twisters are more than just fun. They're an excellent way to improve your diction and train your mouth to pronounce tricky sounds. They force you to focus on precise articulation, which is crucial when learning a new accent. Start with simple ones like she sells seashells by the seashore, and gradually move on to more challenging phrases. Break them down into smaller chunks if necessary, practicing slowly at first and then speeding up as you gain confidence. Tongue twisters also help you identify which sounds you struggle with, so you can target them specifically in your practice.
Interesting. Should I also practice with English songs or poems to get a better grasp of intonation?
Excellent idea. Songs and poems are fantastic tools for understanding the musicality of English. Songs can help you grasp rhythm, stress patterns, and even pronunciation nuances that may not be obvious in regular speech. Poems, on the other hand, are great for learning natural pauses, emphasis, and the emotional tone of language. When practicing with songs, choose ones with clear vocals and slower tempos, especially if you're just starting out. For poems, read them aloud multiple times, experimenting with different intonations to match their mood and meaning. Over time, this will refine your ear for the subtleties of English speech.
Speaking of rhythm, how important is stress timing in English?
Stress timing is fundamental to English and sets it apart from many other languages. In English, stressed syllables occur at regular intervals, while unstressed syllables are spoken more quickly to fit into the rhythm. This creates a beat that's essential to natural speech. Mastering this rhythm will make you sound much more fluent and help listeners understand you more easily. To develop this skill, practice reading aloud and tapping your fingers to the rhythm of the stressed syllables. You'll notice that words like nouns, verbs, and adjectives tend to be stressed, while function words like and, the, and of are often unstressed.
Is there a quick way to improve my stress timing awareness?
Yes, and it's surprisingly simple. Nursery rhymes are a great place to start because they naturally follow English stress patterns. Practice reading or reciting rhymes like Humpty Dumpty or Jack and Jill, emphasizing the stressed syllables. You can also practice with short dialogues or even clapping along to sentences you hear in conversations or media. The goal is to internalize the rhythm so it becomes second nature.
How about watching TV shows or movies? Are they better than formal lessons?
Both are valuable, but they serve different purposes. TV shows and movies expose you to natural speech, including idiomatic expressions, slang, and cultural context. They're particularly useful for understanding how English is spoken in everyday situations. However, they lack the structured approach of formal lessons, which focus on building specific skills like pronunciation, grammar, or vocabulary. A balanced approach works best. Use lessons for foundational learning and media for exposure and reinforcement.
If I learn from movies, should I imitate every character's accent?
Not necessarily. Choose characters whose accents align with your target accent. For instance, if you're aiming for an American accent, focus on characters who speak clearly and avoid extreme regional dialects or heavy slang. Mimic their speech patterns, but remember to adapt them to your context. Over time, you'll develop your own distinct, natural-sounding accent.
What about using language apps? Are they effective for accent training?
Some apps are incredibly effective, especially those with speech recognition features. They provide real-time feedback on your pronunciation and highlight areas for improvement. Apps like these are also convenient for daily practice, as they fit into your schedule easily. However, while they're useful tools, they can't replace the depth of human interaction. Pair app practice with real conversations to achieve the best results.
Sometimes, I feel like my mouth muscles don't cooperate. Is that normal?
Completely normal. Speaking a new language requires retraining your mouth muscles to produce unfamiliar sounds. Think of it like learning to play a musical instrument. It takes consistent practice to develop muscle memory. Engage in articulation exercises like exaggerating vowel and consonant sounds or practicing specific combinations, such as TH and R. Over time, your muscles will adjust and those sounds will feel more natural.
How can I ensure my pronunciation remains consistent when speaking spontaneously?
Consistency comes from transitioning from controlled to spontaneous speech. Begin by practicing set sentences or dialogues repeatedly until you feel confident. Then, gradually introduce these into casual conversations. Recording and reviewing these sessions can help you identify any discrepancies and correct them. The key is to stay mindful of your pronunciation without overthinking, which might disrupt your natural flow.
That's helpful. Finally, how do I maintain motivation during this long process?
Maintaining motivation is about setting clear, achievable goals and recognizing your progress. Break your larger goal into smaller milestones, such as mastering specific sounds or completing a daily practice streak. Celebrate these victories to stay encouraged. Additionally, immerse yourself in English-speaking communities. Join clubs, forums, or social groups where you can practice in real-world scenarios. Lastly, remind yourself that the journey to mastering an accent is as important as the destination. Enjoy the process and take pride in each improvement.
Thank you, teacher. These tips are incredibly insightful. I'll start implementing them today.
You're welcome, Alex. I'm confident you'll see great results with your determination. Keep practicing, stay curious, and enjoy the learning process. Remember, progress is a journey, not a race.
The discussion culminates in a detailed, actionable plan for improving Alex's English accent while maintaining motivation throughout the journey. Key takeaways include the importance of consistency, leveraging tools like recordings and speech recognition apps, and balancing structured lessons with natural exposure through media and real-life practice. The teacher emphasizes that progress lies in consistent, mindful effort and encourages Alex to enjoy the process. This dialogue serves as an invaluable resource for language learners seeking practical and motivating strategies to master English accents with confidence.
Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share to keep the English learning journey alive.